Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we are back. This is a preview episode for episode 259, American Fiction. So this obviously is starring the great Jeffrey Wright. The logline here is a novelist who is fed up with the establishment profiting from black entertainment uses a pen name to write a book that propels him into the heart of hypocrisy and madness he claims to disdain. This is written and directed by Core Jefferson and Percival Everett, is the co-writer, starring, like I said, Jeffrey Wright, Tracy Ellis Ross, John Ortiz, Erica Alexander, Keith David, Sterling K. Brown, amongst a number of other really talented people. Look, you can rent American Fiction at this point. It did win Best Adapted Screenplay at the Oscars this past weekend, so that's pretty substantial. So we will go in depth about this. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't watched it yet, so I think it'll be a pretty fun and interesting conversation. The random topic this week is Lizzo is in the news because she went onto social media and basically said we need to, quote, bring back gatekeeping to stop white people from talking like black people, which is an interesting perspective. I don't actually disagree with it. Quote, Lizzo went on social media platform to voice her frustration on white people using and demonizing cultural slang used within the black community. In her video, the Grammy winner critiqued a white TikToker for being irritated when she hears her dating prospects saying the phrase type shit. I'll go to you, Micah, first. What? How do you agree with Lizzo? I think you probably do.
No, I don't. I don't agree with most gatekeeping, especially because that term is generally used to exclude like art and stuff like that, right? Like nerds don't want people getting into nerdy comic books and nerdy shit if your gateway was the movies, right? Or if you didn't get your ass beat as a child by your peers, then you're not a real nerd or whatever, right?
Name three bands. Name them.
Right. Exactly. If you walk around with a fucking Metallica shirt on, name 3 albums that aren't the Black Album. Like, all right. Calm down. All right. I just like Enter Sandman and For Whom the Bell. Okay, it's the most mainstream shit. All right, I get it. So no, I don't agree with this. Look, it's annoying, right? It's real annoying. But some of y'all are just fucking wilding. Like you're just off, right? Like Aquafina talks like that because she's from New York.
Yeah, but she can turn it off. But she can turn it off though. She turned it off.
Guess what? I code switch all the time. You think I'm gonna go to my job to my Jewish boss and be like, "Yo, my nigga, you won't believe what the fuck I just had to go through."
Type shit.
You think I'm gonna say that to him? No, I don't. My father said that when he was talking about, I'll never forget it. I was talking to you, Jay.
Oh boy!
And I overheard my father.
Why am I involved in this?
My father has a really deep voice, right? And he's really loud. So his idea of a whisper is like this, right? Like that's a whisper to him. And I heard him whisper,
CNN.
Hey, you talking to Jay? You know, they be talking white. Like,
that's awesome.
Nigga, what?
That's fucking hilarious. Good.
And this was when we were young, yo. This is when we were in high school, yo.
Yeah.
So
using diction and shit like some kind of punk bitch. wrong with you?
Right. Look. It's really annoying. It's really annoying,
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
But it is the price that we have to pay for being trendsetters. It just
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's actually a good
Like
point.
if you want to do cool shit, other people are gonna emulate your cool shit because you're fucking cool, right? Which is why nobody, I don't know too many white things that are quintessentially white that everybody emulates, right?
Yeah, I don't love mayonnaise that much. Go ahead.
It just so look. It's I don't like gatekeeping. I think it's a dumb idea. I do agree that like hearing white people in black sense and saying jargon. I mean, the fact that like old white boomers say shit like cancel, it annoys me. It does.
Raise the
But
roof.
especially because they don't understand like that they aren't canceled. Like they're just telling people are just telling them to like, hey, just like be cool, don't be a dickhead,
Right.
right? But everybody's like, oh, you're trying to cancel me. You're trying to like that shit is annoying. It's real annoying. But at the same time, it's the price that you pay for being fucking dope. So
Yeah, it's a very good point. Terence, you know what? I'm going to go to you last, actually, Terence, because I think you have the most salient point on this. Look, I think I agree with you, right? Like, I think gatekeeping is largely stupid. It doesn't work. The more you yell about it, the worse it will become, right? It's not like people are going to be like, oh, you don't want me to do it? Cool. I respect you, black person. I'm definitely not going to do that. People are like, knock it off. They already buy more rap music than anybody in this country or in the U.S. They buy it. Like, they love that shit. They can't get enough of it, right? Everything, I'll take your point a little bit further. Everything that is cool about America comes from us. It is. Music, style, dance, like what is seen as the thing to do, it's not from white culture. It's not. Like it just isn't. Athletics, all of the shit. Like the fact that there was even a conversation a couple of weeks ago where they were like, Travis Kelce invented the fade. Black people are like, excuse me? Like the fade? What are you talking about? Like and to his credit, he was like, no the fuck I didn't. Like, yeah, leave me the fuck alone. His barber tried to be like, just keep asking for the Travis Kelce. Like, no, they pointed to the board with all the black people on it and they were like, give me a number 3. Like, knock it off. So even that conversation showed our level of influence, right? So it's everything that when people talk about people around the world, when they talk about like, oh, America's so cool and their style and everything else, all of those things are deeply rooted in black culture. All of it. And you can hate on it all you want. There's a reason why hip hop is the most popular music in this country and one of the most popular types of music in the world. Right? It was just a couple of black and brown people freestyling in New York. And now look at it. And it didn't take 100 years, right? So it's literally in our lifetime. So yeah, this idea of you being able to gatekeep these things, it doesn't make sense because that's also not how language works. Language is constantly evolving, right? We don't talk like we did in 1990, let alone how we talked in 1890. Like we just don't. And this idea that you're going to open the floodgates and be like, everybody listen to our music, everybody check out these shows and movies and all of our cultural influence. And by the way, take our cultural influence very seriously. And then go, you can look at it like taste, but don't touch, but don't, like you can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Do you want white people to not mimic us and, try to do that? Yeah, I hate it. Like I absolutely hate it. There's nothing that turns me off more than to hear young white people or any age white person trying to use a black accent or use certain terminology. I can't stand it. But you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. You just can't. It's just not how it works. So,
I saw a clip.
Again, And neither Mike or I, and I think I can speak for Terence. We're not saying white people can say like the N word. Like we're not saying that. But
No, I'm not talking about that.
right. But we're talking about just general language. It's just there's nothing you can do. You can be mad about it, but like Lizzo's like, we need to go online and shame them. Okay, what do you think? Like I got a life. Like I don't have time to be policing white people and be like, hey, don't say type shit on Twitter. Like, who
Like
cares? Do you?
I'm about to Google that. What does type shit mean? I don't know what the fuck it means. I really don't.
Yeah. So I get her point. I think it's an overall a reasonable thought process, but in reality, you just as the young kids say, you're just yapping. You're not saying anything. You're just yapping. So it's not going to do anything. But nice try, Terence. Your thoughts?
I mean, I wish we could, but like Micah said, we're too dope for that. The problem that I have is, okay, you take all our slang, you basically take everything from us, but then you still treat us like shit. That's my biggest.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Like, stop fucking, like, everything about us is dope, and you take it and you use our words and everything else, but then, like, we're still niggas. We're niggers to you guys, to some of you motherfuckers. And that's the part that pisses me off. And I really don't like black sense. I hate it. If you don't talk like that, don't do that. Yeah, like, you don't get the code switch. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it doesn't.
You're the default. Yeah,
you don't get to do that. Like, we have to do that. I wish we didn't, but we do, unless we got our own shit. But offline, I was talking to these guys. Lizzo's very popular amongst the LGBT crowd, right?
Yep.
Like, they use a lot of slang. She uses a lot of their slang in her songs. The people that follow her that aren't LGBTQ, they use the lingo. And honestly, like, if you're on the internet or just watching television or anything like that, a lot of the slang that everyone uses nowadays is from the gay culture. Like I was telling you guys, I watched Rome is Burning a couple weeks ago. I'd never seen it before. Burning. Paris is Burning. Yeah, Paris is Burning. A couple weeks ago. It's a very good documentary. It's about the ballroom scene in the 80s in New York. And all of the lingo that everyone uses now, they were doing that 40 years ago. Everything that everybody says now. Not type shit. I still whatever. Apparently that means psych. Okay.
That's not how I've ever heard that used. But
sarcastic, a joke. The statement said before is false. I don't know what the fuck. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But anyway, like, it's like Jay's favorite phrase. It's giving. That's from ball culture. Shade, no read. All that shit that they say. That's all from ball culture. She ate that. All of that. Anything you can think of that people are saying now, they've been saying that for 50 plus years. And, like, can they gatekeep? Like, they're a subculture of a subculture in this country.
Right. So
can you gatekeep that? Or can they gatekeep that? Like, we don't want y'all saying that because these are words that we had to code so we wouldn't get killed.
Right. Because, by the way, it's not even just gay culture. That's specifically very trans culture, right? So,
no, it's not even necessarily. It's just like ballroom culture. Like, they're not all trans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's people of color. Not just
very specifically.
Gay culture. It's very specific. People of color, gay culture, ballroom culture. They were doing coded words, so they didn't get so they could talk amongst themselves, and people don't know what the fuck they were talking about, so they didn't get hurt. Because it was illegal to be gay in this country at one point. You know what I'm saying? It was illegal. You could go to jail.
That's fucking insane.
Fucking crazy. But, they came up with these words, and that's like, so, I mean, can you gatekeep that? Do you want them to take that from you? I don't think so, because it's a very important part of who you are. That's a very important part of why you're so popular, because you're popular amongst that culture. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, in Micah, you said this offline, like, gatekeeping is a two-way street. You don't get to just block the shit that you want to keep safe. Then if everybody else throws up a bunch of gates, then what do you have? You don't even have a society at that point.
You have segregation, guys. Right. You have separate but equal. Right. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that
Preach
like
it all the time.
these new black people who are like super pro black, that's fine. But like they're exclusionary. They want what white people want for black people, but they want to be empowered. They want David Duke and them. They want segregation, yo. They don't want race mixing, right? They don't want Halle Berry. Who the fuck don't want Halle Berry, right? Like what?
And that's the question of the evening. I mean, really.
But you got to be you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful when you're trying to, be so woke that like you wake up on the other side, man. Like you just got to be. I'll never understand the whole like I saw a video someone posted, and it was a bunch of Japanese people doing trap music, and it was odd, but if you like it, I love it. That's what Terence says, right? You like it, I love it. That's fine.
I don't know.
But I've read some of the comments.
But I do not in fact love
Like I don't.
I read some of the comments. I read some of the comments, and they were like, "See, this is why we can't let these people do this, and we can't let these people do like."
Okay,
but why?
Like, all right. So, are we ready to just? Why don't you make a TikTok video and talk about how Wu-Tang took their entire thing from Asian culture, their entire fucking shtick?
How about
everybody shed tears when Akira Toriyama died last week?
Right. I don't want to see none of you motherfuckers watching anime. I don't want to see none of y'all cosplaying as your favorite characters from Japanese culture and shit. Like,
come on, yo.
It's just it's so ass backwards to me, man.
Well,
and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, I hate to sound like a bitch, but like that's one of the reasons why we don't get along now. Like nobody fucking talks to each other. Nobody fucking talks to each other. Not saying that that's all that needs to be done, right? Because there's some people you just can't fucking talk to. But people willfully walling themselves away is just odd to me, man.
And like again, I feel like people think about gatekeeping when they want to do it. It's just literally that idea of like, I get to keep all of my toys and some of your toys, but you don't get to come in here and look at my shit. It's like, that's not how it works, man. Like, we live in
that's toddler thinking, yo. That's toddler thinking.
It really is, right? These are my toys. Can I have your toys? I'm just gonna take these two, right? But like this idea, like the Akira Toriyama situation is a prime example of that. Like people really love that guy's work. Like a lot of black people. That clip I sent you was like, there's all kinds of niggas. There's basketball niggas. There's Dragon Ball niggas. like there are just people who are into that, and that's okay. But if society was all walled off, you'd never be able to enjoy those kind of things, right? But for 99% of the good, you're gonna get 1% of the bad. It's just a part of life. It's just a part of life. Like, all right, well, I guess I got to deal with this white person, saying type shit. But at the same time, this anime is really good. Like, it is what it is. And we all cross cultures. We all use that stuff. And like we go back and forth. Again, you can't just ignore that Wu-Tang's entire shtick is Asian based. Like you can't. Like it's ridiculous. They literally have clips of like karate movies. Like they're giant dorks. I love them, but they're giant nerds, right? Like that's their whole shtick is pulling from somebody else's culture. And the funny thing is, when they go over to Asia, Asian people aren't like, hey, get out of here, you're mimicking our shit. They're like, they fucking love those guys. They love those guys. And so, yeah, they're going to get into, I'm not into it, but like drill music and stuff like that. But that's like, it's okay. Like language, music, culture lives because it spreads. Culture doesn't live by being held back. That's how language and culture die. If you go, only these people can look at it, then it dies. That is... Like, I don't know why people believe it. The reason why American culture is as prevalent as it is all around the world is because we airdrop that shit everywhere. If we were just like, it only could stay here, it would die. because there's only so many of us. Like, it's just not how the world works. So I don't know. I guess
and white people don't have culture.
just
So that's
grow
why
up.
they're not able to spread the shit because their culture sucks.
White people's
They
culture.
got to take it. Yeah, they got to take it from everybody else.
White Americans
Why-
don't have.
no one
white
wants to
Americans,
be- no-
they don't really have a culture. It's just
They don't.
taking parts of other people's cultures. They don't really have it.
All they have is white
Europeans have
privilege.
it. Europeans
their
have
skin.
cultures, but white Americans, baseball and mayonnaise. Like, not even baseball. Like,
Yeah, them niggas is corny. They corny as fuck. They always taking our toys because we got the dopest toys.
but it's true. It's true.
It's true. Seriously.
It's true. Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
corny.
music, all of the popular music that the genres that white people largely dominate were created by us. All of them. And it's only because we were just like, we're done with that. We're going to go create new shit. Like, that's literally it. That's literally it. Rock and roll, country music, you're welcome. Right? So just this idea of that white American culture is somehow like, it's great. And you don't really have anything that anybody gives a fuck about. Like the last person y'all really had, I was gonna say Elvis, but like that's copying too. Like, you don't really have anybody. You don't. Y'all like Adele? Cool. She sounds like a black woman. She does. She sings like a black diva. She does. You can literally hear the people that she listened to growing up.
Yeah.
You can hear them.
She's from like London or whatever the fuck she's from.
Right, she is. But when she sings, she said, like, if we didn't know what she looked like, she never showed herself, I'd be like, oh, that's clearly a black woman. Like, I would assume it was. But all of those things, like you said, is because we're dope and we put out dope shit into culture. Like, it's the thing that we do. It's because we don't have any other power. Like, we don't have time. We don't have the ability to run a bunch of Fortune 500 companies and, have all the, billions and billions of dollars. So we influence the thing that we can influence. We influence the culture.
Right. And even the people that run stuff like that, they are popularized by us, right?
100%.
You think Tommy Hilfiger is selling his shit to fucking white people? Like,
Nope.
no, we made that popular.
Yeah, I mean, it was a brand, but we made it popular. Niggas don't have sailboats. What the fuck we buying Nautica for? I mean, come on. We made that shit popular. Like, right? Look, here's how popular, like, the Tommy Hilfiger thing, right? We made it so popular that when that rumor came out that he didn't want black people to wear his stuff, which was apparently not a thing he said, black people were like, cool, fuck this dude, and nobody wears that shit now. Nobody wears it. White people don't even really wear that shit. That's how much power and influence we have. If we say this is the alcohol to drink, guess what? Everybody drinks it. It's the reality. Cristal was the thing until Jay-Z was like, I'm gonna go buy whatever the other champagne company was, and then all black rappers were like, yeah, we're done with that. We're gonna go to the black-owned one. And guess what? Cristal, boom. Go back to a bunch of few rich white people who drink it. Nobody drinks it. This is what happens. That's why Hennessy's getting a run, right? Like, because we drink it.
Yeah, everybody loves fucking Hennessy.
Yeah. What do white people have?
I don't like
Jaeger? No, I hate Hennessy. It's gross. It's too fucking sweet.
I don't like cognac, honestly. I just don't like cognac.
Yeah, it's too sweet. I don't care for it. I'm an adult. Get out of here. But drink real liquor. Knock it off. But yeah, I mean, but that is like you said. That is the price of being dope. Like, when you're out there, you're out there. Like, sorry, I wish we could be whack, but we're not. Like, like look, nobody's really copying like standardized like Asian American culture. They're not. Tiger moms, like, that's not really a thing, right? Like, it's not. They're not yelling to like copy these things. They're not. So it's not just minorities. It's a very specific group of minorities. So. Like it or not, sorry, Lizzo. Like, it is.
Every once in a while, I really do I wish we could, but
sure, I get that.
I really do. But again, like I said, you can't.
It's fucking annoying. It is.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Again, like I said, the slang that everyone uses now, like, it's got to be a little annoying to like to the LGBTQ folks, right? Like everyone is just taking y'all shit, and they're like the least fucking represented, especially like the trans community. They're like, we've been saying this shit forever. Now all of y'all are using it, like y'all made the shit up.
Yeah,
and that's for everybody, black, white, Asian. It don't fucking matter. Everybody's using that shit.
absolutely.
It's not just like white folks. Like just, I would be pissed. But I mean, that's how shit works.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair.
Too fucking cool.
Yeah,
Too fucking
sorry
cool.
guys.
We don't
Maybe
have
one
the
day we
power to
won't be so
keep them from
cool.
doing shit.
You won't have us to kick around. All right, I think that's it for us. We'll be in Africa. All right, that is it for us. We will be back next week for episode 259, American Fiction. Should be a very interesting conversation. All right, later, guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.